AFTV, Frank, we've done it, man. We've gone through 1-0 to the Arsenal. What do you make of it, bro?
Can you smell that?
Go on, what's it smell of?
It smells of victory.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're happy about that, though, yeah?
of course I'm happy about it. You know, a win's a win. It wasn't in fantastic fashion today, but all that matters is I nearly said we got the 3 points there, but it's a cup competition, of course. And we're through to the next round, so I can't complain. There were a lot of players with massive points to prove today, and I'm going to go through them. Obviously, Ramsdale, I'm a keeper myself, and I like to big up goalkeepers. Fantastic performance and a fantastic response into all the kind of, I'd say, criticism over his performances since Ray has come in. There's a lot of questions to be asked about not only the game on the weekend, but now going into the City game. Does Ramsdale start this weekend? Who goes into the City game, number one? Who else was there? Smith Rowe played fantastically today. It was good to see him get nearly a full 90. I think he came off at the end there, but you know, we've been calling for that for a long time. I actually called for him to start the derby. Didn't happen. Got a lot of minutes today, and obviously with the injuries down that left-hand side, I expect him to, you know, get a lot more minutes, especially in the Premier League for now. Jorginho, a fantastic response to that game. Obviously, the mistake he made against Spurs, nearly made one right at the start of the game, but probably my man of the match today. I think a lot of other people said that as well. Man of the match for me today, 100% Jorginho. And overall, I'm happy.
Listen, you mentioned a few players there, and rightly so. Let's start with the goalkeeper, because obviously we were expecting Aaron Ramsdale to start, but you never quite knew how nervy he'd be. It looked that he was trying to do as much as he could with his feet to prove that he's still that guy. But he's certainly, with the save there and with his performance, asked the question again in Mikel.
That's 100% one of the saves of the season that he's pulled off there. What you've got to remember about that is not only is it, obviously the reflexes to get down for that are fantastic, but he's going to see that so late because it goes through so many people. So to have, you know, the reaction time and the speed to get, not only save it, but obviously get down because it's very low and hard, push it onto the post. And you know what, I like to say he's a shithouse, and I love it because the way he was getting onto the fans, who I could hear the audio through the game, they were getting onto him throughout the entire game. And you know, I think there was, after he made the save, the ball was still in play and he's giving it to the fans. I absolutely love him, and it's just the situation's not unfortunate for the club, but unfortunate for him because he's not done a single thing wrong to be in the situation that he's in right now, where first team football isn't guaranteed. But if he's going to keep performing like this, we've got some serious competition on our hands.
Does he start a weekend for you?
Oh, it's such a hard question. And the reason I'm going to say yes is because I feel like you need to have that competition going into the City game. Obviously, Ray has started the last three apart from today. Ramsdale started this one. Maybe have Ramsdale start this weekend, and then we've got some, you know, Mikel can go away and evaluate who's going to be the number one for the City game, because that's the important one we've got to think about at the moment. You know, there's a lot of training in the build-up to this game as well, so evaluate who looks best in training, who looks best over the performances leading up to the game, and then we decide who goes for City. Yeah,
it's interesting, Frank, because defensively again tonight, we saw, didn't we, 2 years ago, how bad we were defensively against that side on a Friday night. Different Arsenal, but tonight impressed me because the long throws, crosses, making it difficult for us, and Visser and Mbeumo were always a problem. And obviously Jensen with that throw. I was impressed with Arsenal defensively tonight.
No, absolutely. And obviously you take it back to those long throws. And when I saw them happening again today, I was getting like flashbacks and PTSD to that game. But yeah, listen, especially in that second half, obviously we didn't have to do much defensively in that first half. But in the second half, Brentford really went up a gear, and I think we definitely saw that. I think they had something like 13 shots just in that second half, so they really did step up a gear. And I want to commend the team for showing, you know, the strength in the defence to, you know, keep the clean sheet and not concede a goal at all. So big up to the Arsenal defence. One person I did want to mention as well is Eddie Nketiah. I've been a massive critic of Eddie since coming into the team. You know, for me, he's not as consistent as he probably should be after all this time in the team. But one thing, the major thing that I've been critical of Eddie about is the fact that I don't think he does enough off the ball. Today, he done so much off the ball in terms of, you know, dropping into the midfield, making the runs, and really started to look like a team player today. And I think that's been the biggest criticism that I've had of him. But today he showed that. We just need to see more of that if he's going to stay in this team.
Yeah, 100, man. Listen, I want to ask you about the young kid, because I know that you're into the youth football as well. And I thought he was really good tonight, man. He really impressed me. I don't know anything about the kid. It was a bit of a shock for most people when we saw him starting. But it just proves that we have got some talent still coming through the ranks, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Hale looks like it's going to strike again. You know, Charles Sago, no one expected him to be in this team today. I think he kind of jumped the queue a little bit, because if he was looking at any of the youth team players,
Cozy
Adubri, absolutely, and obviously, unfortunately, he was injured today. But you'd look at the likes of Ethan Waneri. But Mikel's seen something. I think he plays for the under-23s, and he's got, I think this is shout out to Lucy for this as well, but obviously the stats that he's got 5 games, 4 assists and a goal. So if Mikel's impressed, keep him in the squad. It's going to be beneficial for him and his career to be playing and training around players of this quality. So the sky's the limit for him. It really is.
100%. Listen, there's a debate to start with about how important this trophy is for Arsenal this season. Where do you stand on that, and do you think Arsenal should go all out to win this?
I wouldn't say... It's a really interesting question, because I don't want to say it's not important, because every single trophy is important. You and I both know. It's just not. If you was to do like a tier list of a priority, it is probably for us right at the bottom. But that's not to say I don't want to win it. I probably only think we went as weak as we did today because of the injury crisis that we've got. You know, that was probably... We need to focus on Saturday as well. It's the Premier League. That's higher up in the priority list. We probably only went as weak as we did today because of those injuries. But it's definitely something I want to win. I think Robbie said it previously, you know, we've got to get... We need some sort of luck with the draw. Obviously, Man City have gone out, so that makes us one of the favourites. I'd probably put Newcastle in there after they've beaten the favourites as well. So we'll just see how it goes.